Blueprints and bricks, the Waterfall way. Waterfall is a way to manage projects. Think of it like building a house. You have a plan, right? That's the blueprint. Waterfall is all about sticking to that plan. First you design the whole house, every detail. Then you lay the foundation. Next comes the framing, then walls, then plumbing and electrical. Everything happens in a specific order. You don't start painting until the walls are up. You don't install the roof until the framing is done. Waterfall is rigid. You move step by step. Just like water flows down, well, a waterfall. Waterfall is great for projects with clear goals. You know exactly what you're building. You don't expect many surprises. It's like following a recipe. But what if you want to change something? What if you decide you want a bigger window? In Waterfall, changes can be a pain. They can mess up the whole project. Building a house waterfall in action. Let's say you're building a house. You meet with an architect, you tell them what you want, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a big kitchen. The architect draws up the plans. This is like the requirements phase in Waterfall. Once the plans are approved, you find a builder. They start digging the foundation. This is the design phase. Then they frame the house, build the walls, put in the roof. Each step happens one after the other. This is the implementation phase. Finally, the house is built. You do a walkthrough, making sure everything is how you want it. This is like testing and deployment in Waterfall. You're checking for problems and making sure the house is ready. Building a house with Waterfall means sticking to the plan. Changes along the way can be expensive and time-consuming. It's like trying to move a wall after the roof is already on. Waterfall in the wild, a real-world example. Remember the first Mars rover Sojourner? That project used Waterfall. It made sense back then. Sending a rover to Mars is complex. It needs careful planning. Scientists and engineers spent years designing Sojourner. They had to consider everything. How would it handle the Martian terrain? What experiments would it perform? They couldn't exactly send up a software update once it landed, right? Everything had to be perfect before launch. Waterfall allowed for that meticulous planning. It was the best approach at the time given the technology and the high stakes. Agile adventures, embracing change. Now imagine building with Legos instead of bricks and mortar. You have a general idea, you want to build a spaceship, but you don't have a detailed blueprint. You start putting pieces together. You build a cool cockpit, then you realize you need more space for the engine, so you adjust. You add, remove, and rearrange pieces. You're flexible, that's Agile. Agile is all about adapting to change. It's about working in small cycles called sprints. You build something small, test it, learn from it, and then build the next small thing. This makes Agile perfect for projects where things are likely to change, like say, building software. Agile Legos, building block by block. Think about building a Lego spaceship. You don't need to plan every detail up front. You start with a basic idea. Maybe you build a small cockpit first, then you show it to your friends. They might say, cool cockpit, but where will the astronauts sleep? So in the next sprint, you add a sleeping area. You keep building and showing. You keep getting feedback and making changes. You might realize the spaceship needs bigger wings or a different type of engine. That's okay. Agile is all about adapting and improving as you go. Agile in the App Store. A real-world example. Think about your favorite smartphone app. It's probably updated all the time, right? New features, bug fixes, the works. That's Agile in action. App developers use Agile to respond to users. They release updates frequently based on feedback. They don't wait years to release a perfect version. They build, test, learn, and repeat. This allows them to keep up with changing trends and user needs. It's like constantly remodeling your Lego spaceship to make it even cooler. Waterfall versus Agile, the showdown. So Waterfall or Agile, it's like choosing between a rigid recipe and taste-as-you-go cooking. Both work, but for different situations. Waterfall is like baking a cake. You need to follow the recipe precisely. You can't change your mind halfway through. You need to know all the ingredients and measurements up front. Agile is like making a stew. You can adjust the ingredients as you go. You taste and add spices until it's just right. You can even add something new if you get inspired. Waterfall is great for projects with clear, unchanging goals. Agile is perfect for projects where things are likely to change, like software development.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out our YouTube shorts and playlists.